All right, so I think this is the best base for I think 6'6" and up. I'm not sure about 6'5". I know I've used it on my 6'6" guard. I've used it on my 6'10" small forward. I use them as a big in the park, and then I have a 7-foot center. So I'll show. And I have an 83 three ball on my 7-footer. So if you've got like a lower 80, it should still work for you. All right, so we're gonna be Elita. That's the base. Where is it? Tim Duncan has released 1, and then Joel Embiid has released 2. As you get an A and everything, except the release side is a C, but honestly, that doesn't really matter from what I've seen. And I always do a 50-50 blend. I don't do 20 and 30 and all of that. I do 50-50. So this is a jumper, and I'm gonna show. This is my 6'10", small forward, and I'm gonna jump into practice with all 3 builds to show you. Well, actually, the 6'6", you can't get Tim Duncan or Joel Embiid, I think. So I switched those up, and I'll show the variation of that one in a second. All right, so this is 6'10", 7'5" wingspan. He's got like an 85 three ball. All right, so you want to make sure that you put your time in for the bigs or for 16 and up very early. Now for guards, I wouldn't recommend it because with guards, you can put the speed higher than you can with 6'10" and above. So I wouldn't recommend doing very early. It's just hard to time. So I'd recommend doing early instead. And you can even do early on this one. The cue is a little different, but yeah. So I'm gonna do very early. What? Oh my gosh. There we go. I forgot what this drill. There we go. So the cue, I believe, is before it even hits the head. Right. So once it kind of reaches its apex, up, you can see, like that. I'll do it one more time. There you go. What? There you go. I like it because for a big, you kind of need to get your shot off a bit faster. So switching it to very early actually helped me a lot, and I can actually get the shot off the dribble now as well. For you corner shooters, I guess I can show the corner. There we go. As you can see, it's very consistent. And I'm gonna switch to my big to show you that it works with a lower 3 ball, and then I'll switch to the guard to show you the variation. All right, this is my big. He's 7 foot, 7 wingspan, but he's got the 83 three ball, so it's a bit on the lower side. I'm gonna load in there. load into the practice and do some drills and show you that you can still hit it even with an 83. I don't know about lower than that because unfortunately, in order for me to test that, I would have to make a build and pay the VC to do that. And I just don't really want to do that because I won't really use a build with an 83 ball, especially since you don't have to this year. Your bigs can actually get a pretty decent, 3. All right. So let's say you 5 out and you want the big in the corner. You see, I was on my way to making 18 out of 20. All right, I guess I can just try to. Let's give me a ball. Let me see. As you can see, you can hit it off the dribble too. All right. And this is a big man. Oh yeah, I forgot I got a 50 ball handle on this one. Is that a mid range? Yeah, I don't have mid range on this build yet. I'm just gonna walk around. You can see that's off. Oh shit, felt early to me. As you can see, the shot works. All right, now I'm gonna switch to my guard. All right, this is my 6'6" guard. As you can see, I've barely even worked on it. It's a 90. It's a rebirth build. I think it was my first rebirth. I'll show you the badges I got. I don't really have that many badges. Catch and shoot, green machine, volume shooter, yada yada. Right. And he's got an 85 3 ball. Now, since I'm a guard, I can't get the same releases because they were big man releases. So what I did instead was there are 2 options that you have. You can go. So I still do the same base. All right. So you can do O'Shea Brissett and then Kobe Bryant, and this is what the jump shot would look like. So O'Shea gives you where the hand gets really, really flat and it kind of pauses, and then Kobe, he flicks it out really quickly. So that helps with the defensive immunity. All right. And then so if you did this one, it would be, let me make it faster. My bad. There we go. That's what it looks like full speed. This would be, I think, similar to my big, my 6'10". All right. So that's not too bad. But yeah, and like I said, I always do a 50-50 blend. Yeah, and if you don't want O'Shea, the other variation is just doing full-on Kobe. As you see, it makes the defensive immunity even better because Kobe really just kicks it out of there quick. Yeah, I say it will be a bit harder to time, but still doable. So the one that I have equipped right now, I believe, is Kobe and Kobe. I'll show you what that's like. All right, so I'll do the corner shot drill because 6'6", maybe you're locked down. You sit the corner, and then I'll do some others, maybe loop shooting to show a little bit of variation in different spots that it works, in different, like how the cue will look to you. All right, so what you want to do, you want to watch for the ball to come back forward. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. This is actually very early. Um, so if it's very early, you want to wait until the ball hits your head. I wouldn't recommend putting this shot on very early. It's actually very hard to time. But it's literally as soon as the ball hits your head. As you see, I'm still able to hit. But that's just because I'm a shooter. Like, but I think in a game, this will be a lot harder to time. As you see, I'm still able to get it off. I was on my way to probably getting 18 out of 20. That's usually what I get. All right. Yeah, so that was on very early. If you do this shot on very early, it's as soon as the ball hits your head, you got to let go of X. I recommend with this jump shot, so for the guards, since it's faster, put it on early. And so when you do that, I'll show you the difference. So for early, it's when the ball starts to come back forward. So it gives you that pause to get ready. And as soon as you see that hand start coming back forward, let it go. This is really similar to the jump shot I had in 2K22. I had set shot 25 with Ray Allen and Kobe Bryant. Ray Allen, he gets the hand flat. Kobe Bryant snaps it back forward. Yeah. And I was never really a fan of jump shots where you jump so much. So I was actually one of the first people to use set shot 25. I didn't even know it was a popular thing until the YouTubers started using it as well. But yeah, so as you see, it works in the corner. This is with an 85 3 ball. I believe you can actually do O'Shea on the bigs. So if you try this out and you like O'Shea, the Q, you can actually put that on the big as well. I don't believe you can get Kobe Bryant. So you might have to just do Bielitsa, O'Shea, and O'Shea. But now I'm going to try loop to show, because it's a bit harder when you actually have to move around, right? When you're just sitting in one spot shooting, it's super easy to time it that way. When you got to run, and then fatigue is a factor as well. And it just changes up your timing in general, because in the game, you're probably going to be running around. Like, say it's a fast break, or you're running off somebody says an off-ball screen, you're running around it, things like that. So this right here will kind of demonstrate that. All right, and then I'll show from the top what the cue is. I say the top of the key is actually the hardest place to shoot in a game, in my opinion. And so it's really important that you spend some time with the jumper from the top of the key to get used, because from the side it's super easy to see the cue. And then I think also they give you a different gather at the top too. That's what I'm just not noticing right here. But yeah. So as you can see, flat, forward, flat, forward, flat, forward. Oh, not bad. This also shows you don't need a 92 3 ball and all of that. Like, I've seen people making builds like that, and that just shows the people who can't shoot, in my opinion. Last year we were we were spoiled, with the sniper badge and stuff. I was shooting 84% from the three. There were times where I was shooting 90% from the three, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm barely shooting. No, I was scoring 30 points a game, shooting 90%. Like, so it really, really helped people who are great shooters. So I don't need, I've been shooting better than people with 93 balls on my big that has an 83 3 ball. Like, so it really just, this year, you really got to spend some time getting in the lab. I recommend doing these drills right here. They're actually very, very good. Just take some time and really learn the jumper. It may not work at first. This may not be the jumper for you. It may not be. It may not be a good enough cue. But I played with some guys who they were really struggling shooting. They never really been, great shooters. But I gave them the jumper, right? I described to them what the cue is. Took them through a few drills in the Gatorade facility, and boom, now they're shooting better. They're shooting over 50%. So, all I'm saying is give it a shot. But yeah, I'll be making a few other jump shots and trying them out. I don't really switch up my jumper that much, so I'm not gonna be one of those channels where you see a bunch of jump shots being made, because I kind of like to find a jumper and stick with it. To where it just becomes second nature. Like I know it like the back of my hand. I don't even have to think about it anymore. Yeah, that's another thing I see. There's some people like some of my friends that I play with, they struggle because they're not really that good as shooters, right? They're not really focused on the cue, or they're looking at the wrong things as the cue, and they try a jumper out, for a game. I don't like it. I don't like it. Switch jumper. I don't like this one. Switch jumper. Oh, this the one. This the one. Then they have a bag in. Oh, I don't like this one. Switch jumper. Like, find a jumper that you can hit decently with. Like, you do some drills with it. You get consistent with it. Okay, that's a good jumper for you. Now you just need to stick with it and get better over time. That's the key this year. Cause if you play, you see it's green or miss this year. I've seen probably, 2 out of 60 whites go in. Like, they're not going in this year. I personally have only made 1 white. 2 whites. 1 white on a jump shot I had take, and 1 on a free throw. Yeah. So yeah, just find a jumper and stick with it. Y'all be good. I recommend this jumper though. And plus, it's good that you can use the same base on a guard up to a big. So if you do play different roles like me, I usually play the 2 through the 5. Right? Specifically 2, 3, and 5. I don't really like playing power forward like that. But it's nice to be able to have a similar jumper. Like last year, I used set shot 25. I was able to use it on guard and my big, so it didn't matter. I was always ready. It didn't really take that much adjusting. Only thing you have to adjust to switching to a big is the speed, obviously. But it's a similar cue. So on a guard, it's gonna be flat on the head. Wait for the ball to come forward, right? If you do very early, it'll be as soon as it hits your head. I still don't recommend very early, but hey, do what you want. And then for a big, it's when it hits the forehead. But yeah, that's it. So try it out. I'm kind of new to this whole YouTube thing, but I'll eventually find an outro. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm just somebody. I've been playing the game for years, and I've always been a good shooter, and I've always made a lot of builds. And so I feel like, and I've always just been helping people. Like my friends, they always ask me like, "Hey, what do you think about this build? What do you think about these badges? What do you think about this jump shot? You got a jump shot for me?" They always came to me, so I figured, hey, why not just make a channel and see if I can help people. All right, and lastly, for a pull-up, for anybody that does pull-ups, I recommend Luka Doncic. If you can get him, Luka Doncic. For bigs, you can't get it, so just use whatever, to be honest. But yeah, if you're somebody that actually works the mid-range game, and even threes, it actually works with threes pretty well too, I recommend Luka Doncic. Yeah, I think a lot of people sleep on the mid-range. But I'm gonna give a little demonstration of how to use it. There are 2 different pull-ups. A few different. So if you run and you pull up without the right trigger, that's what it looks like, right? Like a normal, one dribble pull up. But if you hold it, do a little rocket step. Oh, there we go. If you hold it, as you see, it kicks a bit. All right, and this is actually something that's useful for whenever people, like, you got somebody that's playing you really tight, or you got only a small window to hit to get that shot off before it registers as they contest it. And so what you want to do is without the trigger, right? It's just a normal pull up. Right. I don't have all my shooting badges right now. Dude, get out of my way. I wish we could just get our own court. Like, this is annoying. And everywhere I go, is there somebody over? Oh, I didn't mean to shoot that. There's somebody over here. Bunch of people over here. And over there. They're just stretching over here. All right, give me the ball. Okay, so right here, it's a normal jump shot, right? You're just waiting for it to flick off the wrist. Hey, wow, I'm not hitting right now. I think my mini magician is only on silver right now. Let me see. Plus, this is a weird angle. I'm not used to seeing it like this. Because when you're in the game, the camera's not this low. There we go. But yeah, that's what it looks like right there. Hey, right. You're just waiting for it to come back forward a little bit. Hey, that was early. Yeah, I felt that. Right. Okay. But that's what it looks like. The one I'm actually really good in is this one, right? And it's so fast. I mean, it's so fast. Like, look, let me just give you an example. Took a step and boom, get it off. And I can actually hit that. I just wasn't focused. Boom. You only got a little bit of time. Boom, you can pull it. See? Green. And I only have the badge on silver. I was actually greening without the badge. As you can see, he's basically, the way it works, you want to wait for your body to square up, to align with the rim. You see, he twists his body. That's what you're waiting for, and that's how it works in real life. You're waiting. All right, and so that's what it looks like fading to the right with the trigger. This is to the left. That's what it'll look like. Now, the left is a lot more difficult, to be honest. I wouldn't really recommend it until you get a lot of practice with it. As you can see, I hit it, but yeah, so sometimes you may get a little bit of space off in the corner, right? Maybe beat somebody to a spot. Oh, yeah, I hate that version of the pull-up. It's very ugly. But boom, like that. So that's what it looks like. That one I wouldn't really recommend. I would say fade most certainly to your dominant hand. You may be a lefty build, you may not be, but yeah, Luka Doncic all day. I'll go over here in the corner as well. But yeah, as you can see, it's nice. But yeah. So like if you're over here, I'd recommend probably just doing a regular pull up. You beat somebody, boom, regular pull up. Like that. You know what I mean? But if you got a little more space, you're around here, hey, you pull it, you know. See? And you see how quick that is. They can't really do anything about that because now blinders are kicking in, right? Because they're already beside you. So, yeah. Spend a little bit of time with that. And you can really be dangerous. When I made this adjustment, right, to actually utilizing the mid-range, I started that in 2K22. Now I was scoring 30 points every game, right? I never really upgraded my mid-range like that, you know. But once I did, oh man. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. And guys, please, with any jumper that I've put in this video, any jumper you try, take the meter off, please. Okay, if you're gonna use a meter, it does not even matter what jumper you use, because you're not even looking at the jumper. So if you're gonna use a meter, this video is useless for you. I highly recommend taking it off, because especially since anywhere you hop on in 2K, if it's Pro-Am versus the city, the theater, my career, the timing is different for every single one of them because of the 2K servers. They're crappy. So in the city, the lag is not the lag. The delay is terrible, right? Versus in rec, it's almost similar to career. So I played really well in rec and Pro-Am, right? But yeah, the city, the theater, it's terrible. The Gatorade facility is even worse. You know, so I'm saying if you know that the game has this issue with delay, I don't think using the meter would be that good of an idea. Versus if you're just looking at your queue, right? It's a lot easier to see. It don't matter what the delay is really, because you're always looking at your player and not a meter, right? But yeah, so that's my recommendation. Take the meter off, pick a jumper, stick with it.